Virginia councilman. Yes, a Virginia councilman was set on fire. So set on fire with gasoline or some kind of accelerant. So let's jump right over into that and see what this is talking about. And well, you gotta be mad at somebody. Boy.
Breaking news in Danville, Virginia, where the man accused of intentionally setting a city councilman on fire appeared before a judge this morning. 29-year-old Shotzi Hayes is accused of attacking Lee Vogler after confronting him at work. The motive is still unclear at this time. Our Erin Burnett was the only TV reporter from the Piedmont Triad as Hayes appeared in court. She has the details on what was discussed.
It was a brief, tense hearing here at Danville District Court. Cameras were not allowed inside, but we were there, and Shotzi Hayes did appear in person before a judge. He's asking for a court-appointed attorney. He's facing multiple charges, including attempted first-degree murder and aggravated malicious wounding. Court officials tell me Hayes had no prior criminal history in the city of Danville. Police arrested Hayes after they say he forced his way into the office building for Showcase magazine. That's where Councilman Lee Vogler works. The owner of the magazine, Andrew Brooks, tells us Hayes poured gasoline on Vogler inside, leading Vogler to run outside where Hayes set him on fire.
This type of senseless act of violence has to stop. You do not have the right as a human being to get upset with someone enough to lash out and attempt to harm them in any way, much less this way.
Police say Hayes and Vogler knew each other, but say the incident is unrelated to Vogler's role as a city councilman. I also had the chance to speak with Councilman Vogler's father, who says that he continues to recover at this time.
So we got one more video to watch. Let me see.
We begin with a warning for both parents and
wrong thing.
Breaking news.
Where is it at? Yeah, there it is.
A city councilman was doused in gasoline and lit on
so
fire.
This is the original video. I meant to show this one first, but hey we just gonna watch this one next. This is the original video when it was first recorded. So let's get into it.
Police say the suspect walked into the office of Lee Vogler at the local media outlet where he works, confronting Vogler before covering him in gas. He then ran out of the building where the suspect ignited the fire on Vogler's body, according to police. That person is in custody and could not be reached for comment. But I want to bring in Aaron Gilchrist, who's joining us now. Just horrific details on the story. Aaron, is there any indication this may have been politically motivated?
Well, Hallie, the Danville City Police Department made it a point to say that the suspect and the councilman know each other. They are acquaintances, and that this was an assault that was a result of a personal matter, not a political affiliation or related to his job as a member of the city council there in Danville. So let me back up a little bit here to what we know about what happened. And this is details coming from both the city police department and Mr. Vogler's boss. City council is a part-time job. His full-time boss, or colleague, I should say, was able to sort of shine some light on the details here. It was about 11:30 this morning, we understand, when someone forced his way into this small office building on Main Street in Danville, according to one of the workers there, and went directly toward Lee Vogler. And then we understand he was carrying a 5-gallon bucket of gas. That's how it was described by his co-worker, and threw that gasoline on Mr. Vogler, who then ran toward the front door to get out of the building, yelling for someone to call 911, and then was set on fire in those moments after that happened. We understand now that police have arrested this acquaintance, a 29-year-old. His name is Shotzi Michael Buck Hayes, and he has been charged with attempted first-degree murder as well as aggravated malicious wounding as a result.
Now, like, yes, that's a good question. What was the reason that he set him on fire? The only thing I can think about, the only reason that can make a man crash out like this is a woman. I mean, we got to be honest about it. The one thing that makes men crash out the most is women. And bringing a 5-gallon bucket of gasoline and pouring it on somebody, sounds like a woman was involved. Now, I heard some people say that it could be a lover spat. We are in that time of age where it could be two men lovers and messed up in a lover spat going around, somebody cheated. But my thinking, they don't look that way to me. But I'm thinking a lover was involved, a woman was involved. So let's keep going.
Result of the attack earlier today. I want you to hear what one of Mr. Vogler's colleagues had to say about this incident that happened inside their office earlier today.
This type of senseless act of violence has to stop. You do not have the right as a human being to get upset with someone enough to lash out and attempt to harm them in any way, much less this way.
Now, I think it's important to point out in that same social media post, we were told that Mr. Vogler was awake and talking when he was taken away by medics earlier today. The city police department saying that he was flown to a regional medical center there in that area. Hallie, this is Danville, Virginia is a small city, about 40,000 or so people in what we call Southside Virginia. It's right on the North Carolina border. And Mr. Vogler had served on the city council there since 2012. He was in his early 20s when he was elected to office there and has been a member of the city council since then, and obviously worked at this small media company as well that serves that Southside, Southern Virginia, Northern North Carolina area.
Aaron Gilchrist, thank you for staying on top of this one. I know a lot of developments coming in. We'll look for updates from you as we get them. Appreciate that.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah, that's the question. Why did he crash out like this on him? Yeah, because that's crazy. Trying to burn someone alive. That's some serious stuff. That is some serious stuff. My first thought. Now I could be wrong. Like we're only giving our inferences on what we think happened, but sounds like me. A woman was involved. Someone got cheated on. Someone got his girl stole. That's what comes to my mind immediately. Now, tell me your thoughts. Is that what you're thinking as well? Then, like I said, some people think that it was just a lover's quarrel. These guys might have been in the LGBTQ community. Now, I don't know if they didn't look like that to me, but hey, you never know. But this sounds like a woman was involved. Somebody's wife is getting upset. Somebody's wife was left or got cheated on. Somebody cheated on with his wife. Something involving that is what my mind thinks makes a man go that crazy. But like I said, tell me your thoughts. What do you think happened? Do you think it was a lover's quarrel? Do you think it was a woman was involved? There's a lot of possibilities that come to my mind. But yeah, something to do with. Yeah, my thinking is something to do with the woman. That's my mind. What makes men crash out the quickest. But yeah, that is it. All right, everybody. Remember, this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.